Good rainy morning to everybody out there. We are finishing up yesterday's lesson. Remember, yesterday we made some ratio tables, and today we're going to continue to look at the ratio tables to see how they work, and then we will be going into our workbooks so that we can finish our work. For those of you at home, you will need to have your workbook, and you will need to have your completed ratio table for you to do your work. For those of us out here, the pages we will be working on are pages 62 and 63. 62 and 63. Everybody's going to get their workbook pages out. 62, 63. Okay, as everybody's getting their pages open, let's get a few things out in front of us. Remember yesterday our big idea was we were practicing making ratio tables, and ratio tables help us with multiplication. Okay, and yesterday I made this ratio table, and I also have another one that I started. We're going to talk with this one at first to help us with our thought process. So looking back at this, we all made ratio tables that started with a 1 and a given number on top. We went through 10, we went through 20, we went all the way to 30. And as I told you, if you understand what the one group of however many is, you can use ratio tables to figure out large multiplication problems. For example, those of you at home who have been watching Miss Trammell with Number Corner, we just were doing some Number Corner in class, and we used a ratio table to help us figure out how many seconds there are in an hour. And the biggest thing is to know how many are in our base unit. So this is one group of 10. There's a group out there that has one group of 19. Where are my one group of 19 people? Raise your hands. There they are. We have a group with one group of 12. Who are my 12s? Raise your hands. Okay, who are my 6s? Thank you. Who are my 9s? Who are my 27s? Who are my 13s? And you guys have 18 and 20, 39. Okay, so those were the groups that we have working together in here. Okay. Now, everybody has their paper in front of them, but I'm going to ask you to start looking at this book first. So put page 62 in front of you. Do you have 62 in front of you? Make certain you have a pencil or a pen. And it says look at your own ratio table. Okay, so everybody has their own ratio table in front of them, correct? So the ratio table for 39, and we have someone in here who did 39, shows that at 10 across, it's 390. Who's still talking? Jacob.
I stole my eraser. Yes, you did. It's the purple.
Do you want everybody at home to hear your arguments? Figure it out. Okay, so look what they say we can do. They say that since this is the ratio table of one group of 39, did you see how I wrote that at top? That if I need to figure out how much 10 groups are, I can do 10 groups of 39. See right here? And 10 groups of 39 is 390. Well, that's pretty interesting. So now I'm going to show my table of 11s, which I didn't finish from yesterday, but I had some friends in here that were helping me. I could look at my first row. Notice my first row. My first row is one group of how many? And what does my answer say? One group of 11 is how much? 11. Okay. So then I'm going to look at my next one. Oh, look at this. Here's my group of 10. See, it says I'm supposed to find my group of 10. And so if I have 11 groups of 10, what's my total? Thank you, 110. Okay, well now look what it tells me to do here. I have to find how much, because I'm doing 11s, right? I'm going to just fill in 11s right away. I have to find my second row. So 2 groups of 11 is how much? Will?
22.
22. Now I have to go all the way down to the 20. There's my 20. And 11 times 20 is what? Yes, Addison? 220. Did you see what they're telling me to look at now? I'm supposed to look at my third row. So my third row, so 3 rows of 11. 3 rows of 11 is how much? Reese? 33. Now this one's telling me to go all the way down to 30. All the way down to the bottom. I didn't do that. I better hurry up. So I've got to add 11. 308 plus 11 is, now I have to add 11 again. One, 2, 3. Helps if I count right. That's a 3, not a 5. Okay, so it is 330. Oh my, look at, does anybody see a pattern in my answers?
Yes.
What pattern do I have? Raise your hand. What did you notice, ma'am?
10 is 11 and 0, and it's the same for all of them.
Okay. So here, this one's 10 times bigger. This one's 10 times bigger. This one's 10 times bigger. Or I could say it the other way. This one's 10 times smaller. And this one's 10 times smaller. And this one's 10 times smaller. So what I want all of you to do, now is on the ratio table that's in front of you. You know how I put 11, right? Because that's what my ratio table was. So for example, I have the poor kids sitting closest to me right now are Anna and Addison. Anna and Addison have what table? 19, right? So where I have the number 19 or number 11, they have to write the number 19. So do you see all the numbers that I underlined? That number should be the number on your ratio table. Does anybody have those 6 numbers written down in their book yet? Does anybody? Okay. Adrian already went ahead and did this. So I'm going to have Adrian check this last one here. But did you see Adrian's got 12 and 12 and 12 and 12 and 12 and 12. And then he's going to go to all of these spots. He's going to find the 12th row. And then the third row. Then he's going to find the 10th row. And he's going to find the 20th row. And he's going to find the 30th row. He's going to double check that 30th row though. So that's what I want you to do right now. Once you have finished that, you need to switch ratio tables with somebody around you.
One of them.
That's fine. So you'll need to switch some. You guys are kind of out of luck over there. We'll have to give you one of my extra ratio tables. Not this one. I'll have to give you the 10s one. And then you're going to do that. And then can you switch with somebody else if you have time? So you're just going to keep working on these with the different ratio tables. And then as you finish, work with this page. This page is just a review. This is a review page. I want everyone to listen to me right now. It says, look at this. This is part of a ratio table by a 4th grade student. We don't have a 1. What kind of ratio table is it? Somebody's shrugging their head or their shoulders. They don't know. How many of you don't know? How many of you want to find out? Because there's a way to find out. David's being brave. My goodness. Yes, David. What do you think?
Find out.
Yeah, what do you think if we were going to put the 1 on the top, what's the number that would go right there for our ratio table? What would go in that box? How can we figure it out? Okay, that's a good try. What do you think, Will?
15.
Why?
Because 45 plus 15 equals 60. 60 plus 15 equals 75. 75 plus 16, 15 equals 90.
Okay, so he's looking at the number patterns. He noticed how this column is changing. Remember, a ratio table is the count by numbers. It's the multiples. This one is by 15. So that answers our question. So then it's asking us, what would come after 7 and 105? What would come after 7 and 105? What comes after 7? What's the number that comes after 7? We have 7 rows. Then we would have what, Akaya? 8. And what would be 105? What would be in the next one? 106?
Yeah.
No. I'm picking on you to say a 106. What are we counting by in this column? We're counting by 1s in this column. Plus 1. Plus 15. Addison. She forgot. It got scary. What are we counting by, Will?
15.
Okay, so if we're at 105, what's 105 plus 15? Yes, Addison. 120. Did you have that figured out before and you were scared? Yeah, it's okay. When you make mistakes, that's when you learn the most. So then hopefully you'll be able to figure out this ratio table. This is the ratio table of what? If this is the ratio table of 15, and this is the ratio table of 39, what's this the ratio table of? Reese? 7. So you should be able to figure out some of the 7s, and you're going to work on this and work until we run out of time, and we'll pick up on this tomorrow. For those of you at home, you are working on pages 62 and 63. It is a short math class today because we had guidance, which means you will have a guidance assignment coming from Mrs. Scheider. So you have a great day, and everybody's going to say,
Bye.